All right, I'm finna paint a picture for y'all real quick. We're sitting on a big ass couch. And boxes everywhere. Packed boxes, not just random boxes. Packed boxes, bags, you name it. Everything to solidify a move is in this place, and we are surrounded by it. We still got the Wi-Fi router and the TV hooked up. I'm looking at my box of kicks over there like, dang, I don't even got no real shoes to wear for the next couple of days. The bedroom is packed out, so there's no bed. The mattress is leaning against the wall. Duffel bags are waiting to be full of toiletries. It's tight in this mug right now. Diapers, diaper boxes, toys, the bassinet, wardrobe boxes. Did I say boxes? All of that, man. All of that is surrounding us. And the only thing I can think of is this is the last pod in this place.
How you feel about that?
I don't know. It's bittersweet. This is where the pod was spawned.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a second.
This is where the pod was created.
Yeah.
So it's only right that we do one last pod in the place where it was originated, you know? Yeah. So, yo, you tuned in to season 3, episode 4 of the Can I Talk My Shift podcast, the number one place for self-accountability, self-awareness, and leadership in life after loss, with your two hosts, LaShawn G. Walker and Sam Walker, INSPO. Bittersweet moment right now, y'all. Real talk, I can't even lie. Bittersweet moment. We are moving to bigger and better things. We will let you know the location and all of that in some later episodes. But right now, we are packed up, and tomorrow is the day that we are moving and we are leaving. We are leaving the A.
So many great things have happened in these last, almost 4.5 years.
Yeah.
4.5 years for me.
It's been that long. It has been 4 years.
Ups, downs, learning, unlearning, relearning, meeting, creating. A lot has happened, but that is, that's the cycle. That's the journey. And I'm grateful for the journey.
Me too.
And it continues. This isn't like, this is the end. It's literally the beginning. Just the beginning.
It's definitely the beginning, yo. Like, from the pod spawning, even before that, like just getting your feet wet with being an entrepreneur, balancing work, love, life, to then creating the life that you want, but also watching the things that you thought you needed wither away, fall off, all this chaos and turmoil, but at the same time, the beautiful relationships that withstand the test of time are now blossoming more. And you watch new opportunities arise and you just walking through these doors, yo. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And that's why I got to ask you, can you fight?
Can I fight?
I know it's random. Can you fight?
I mean, I got hands.
Your hands are a little heavy. Your hands are a little heavy, though. They nice. They soft. They soft hands, but they heavy as shit. They definitely heavy. I'm asking, can you fight? Because I'm fighting back tears right now. And I said to myself, what's this pod going to be about? This episode in particular, since it's the last one, we're going to leave this good energy in this place for the new people that come and arrive and make this home, or they're able to call this place home. And we just want to leave some really good energy in this place. And so I said to myself, I know a lot of girls be like, but can you fight though? And dudes be like, but can you got them, like, you got hands? What, you want to fight? And oftentimes I think about that and I say to myself, yo, if we could only apply that mentality to the right things, to the right things, where would our culture be? Where would our microcosms be? Where would you and I be?
Right.
Like, can you fight? Because I think most of the times, more often than not, we fight and we good at fighting, but we fight for the wrong shit.
That was gonna be my next question.
Shit,
what are you really fighting for?
Yo, the wrong shit, man. The wrong people. The wrong beliefs.
Right.
You feel me? Like, we fight for the excuses more than the actual breakthrough.
Say that again.
We tend to fight for the excuses more than the fucking breakthrough. Breakthroughs, plural.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why do you think that is?
I think people get so comfortable. People get so comfortable in their bitterness, their desolate places, their trauma, that it doesn't even feel like it doesn't feel like home when you're actually fighting for what my great friend says, Candace Dobie, a worthy cause. When you're fighting for a worthy cause, when you're utilizing that type of courage to fight, and it's not even for a worthy cause, people are comfortable in that. And when you can be comfortable in your trauma, when you feel like that's all you have, you are not even opening up yourself to the possibility of fighting for that worthy cause. Using that courage to fight for a worthy cause. And it's sad because there's so much to fight for. There's so much good to fight for. There's so much that we can put our powers, our superpowers, if you will, towards fighting for a worthy cause. Combating emotions, negative emotions with positive emotions, combating anger with empathy, combating hate and loathing with love. People don't want to fight for those things anymore. And I think, or I don't even know if they really wanted to at a point. Maybe there's few of us who feel that way that we know of than not, but people aren't willing or open to fighting for that cause that allows everybody to win. It's either me or you. It's either I win or I fight you so nobody wins. That's my personal belief. And I think we've all experienced it. We've all been in a place where we've tried to force something to happen and we're fighting and we're pushing, trying to make this thing happen. And, we turn around a year later, 2 years later, 10 years later, and it's like, what the heck was I even fighting for? Did it even matter?
Right.
So, yeah.
I often ask myself this same question. I've went up, down, left, right, diagonal, in and out, all through it multiple times and asked myself, Why was I fighting for the things that I was fighting for? Why do we tend to side with the excuses? Why was I siding with the excuses versus, the work necessary to bring about the changes that was needed at that time versus now?
Mm-hmm.
They say God makes no mistakes. And I'm like, yo, for the things that I was fighting for, it was like crazy because I'm like, yo, a lot of the people that I was fighting for, the motherfuckers ain't even around no more.
Right.
They not even around. And I ain't bitter about it. I'm just like, they not here.
You spend a lot of energy.
They not here.
And they're not
You feel
even
me?
here.
They not here. Yo, the identities that I was fighting for don't even fucking matter right now.
Because you've evolved.
You know what I mean? And so I'm looking at over the past 6 months, I've had my beliefs shattered. And I'm like, what am I fucking fighting for? There's all these ideas on what I should be as a man, what I'm supposed to be as a provider, as a husband. First and foremost, just as a man standing on his own too and standing on his square first. Then in my relationship with the creator or God or spirit or the universe, whichever one you want to call it. And even that, me having to go and always make sure that I keep it open because I don't want to necessarily offend people who are listening.
Right.
Then how I am, how I'm showing up and what my being is in my role as the leader of this household and your partner. And then my role and my identity as a father and provider for the children. And then my identity and my role as a family member, and then a friend, and then business, and so on and so forth, mentor, all of that. And it's like, yo, Sam, what you fighting for though? Because I know I can fight.
But can you answer that question now?
That's what I'm saying. The only thing I can tell a motherfucker is like, yo, I know I can fight, but then they be like, well, okay, you can fight, but what you fighting for? And then it's like, yo, what? Yeah, hold on, bro. Like, I'm gonna fight you for asking me that. You know what I mean? For confusing me, because LaShawn, I can fight. Yeah, but what?
All right, but what you fighting for?
Where you gonna channel it though?
Yeah,
I'm just saying I can fight. That's the only thing.
That's good to know.
You should love me because I can fight.
I need more context.
Absolutely, right? And that's the thing when I get into this, what we talking about with like spirit and the ancestors and the source, God. God know you can fight. That don't matter.
Right.
Where you gonna put the fight at? Where you putting the fight at? Are you fighting to get closer to me, or are you fighting to stay the same? Are you fighting to get closer to me, or are you fighting to stay the same? Why you holding on to them funky ass habits that's keeping you away or keeping you from being closer to me? And you know you're doing it.
Or that is continuously pushing you away from me.
Why are you so adamant in holding up the identity of you're a fighter and you can fight? What if you don't need to fight? A lot of these questions for all our avid listeners out there, yo, I pose these questions to you too, because I know a lot of y'all out there feel the same way. I can fight. So because I can fight, then I should have these things. You should respect my fight.
Mm-hmm.
But you switch up, because what you fight for in the eyes of another versus what you really want to fight for, you don't fight for that thing. Prime example, we got this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that we would say that's close to us who doubt this.
Yeah.
Either because they don't understand it and they don't know how it works. They don't know what success looks like for us. They just see others doing it and they think that we can't be as successful as the people that are already doing it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they just don't want us to do it.
Because they have in their
because
mind.
it's outside of their box.
Right.
Their framing of what work really is. This ain't work. This looks like fun shit.
Right.
There's no real lucrative, backbone to this
whole. Make a living doing
this
that.
ain't a real business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, I look at us and I say, what we fighting for? Are we fighting to do this to prove them wrong? Or are we fighting because we know that we can create an abundant life and the life that we want doing this? Because it's two fights.
Right.
And now it's like, where you at though? I'm asking you.
You mean which one do I think we're doing?
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
What do I think we're fighting for? I mean, I think in our conversations, we always are looking to, I'll say fight, but we're always looking to make a living being ourselves, find our way being our most authentic selves, and not to prove anybody wrong. I think maybe in our own heads, there may be something way, way, way in the recesses of our mind that whisper to us, such and such gonna have something to say. Somebody's gonna come to you and ask you, blah, 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 give you the riot act. But I think we have come along far enough that doesn't even matter anymore. I think we have journeyed and we've heard that enough that we've gotten tired of fighting for our voice in our world, meaning within our family, within maybe friends who have had, playing devil's advocate,
Mm-hmm.
Have something to say about the way we are going about creating the life that we want. Only because it's different than what they're doing.
Yeah.
Very different, like polar opposite.
I got you.
So I think that, maybe at a time we thought, maybe in the conception of doing this, oh, what are they going to think? What are they going to think? They're not going to believe we're able to make a living being ourselves, doing what we love, doing something we love. They want us to have this quote unquote stability, which you and I already know, even traditional work is not stable.
Right.
Not in 2025.
Right.
And we've gotten to a place where we have shut that noise out of our mind, or we put it in its place so that we can be diligent and fight for what we really want.
I'm so glad that is your perspective.
Why?
Because I'm over here and I'm like, Sam, you got a beautiful wife, dog. Because my perspective is not that.
Really?
No.
Even today?
I'm having a vulnerable moment right now and I'm saying, yo, nah, Sam, you been lying, nigga. The partnerships that I had throughout the years, I've learned a lot from the losses that we took.
Mm-hmm.
And buried somewhere deep down, I want to make it. Just so I know that it wasn't me in them failed partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's bad, or I think that it is unfavorable for me when I don't acknowledge it, because then it grows. It's no longer a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's got roots. And then not only does it have roots, now it's come to the surface and now it's growing. It's a tree and it's growing. And then I'm trying to chop it down so nobody can see it. But the tree just grows faster and faster now. And it gets to the point where now it's bearing fruit. And I'm trying to cut the fruit off and cut the tree before anybody can see that this motherfucking tree keeps growing overnight.
Yeah.
Bigger than the day before.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, yo, bruh, that's a fight that I don't want anymore. Because what I really want is what you just said. That's what I really want to anchor in. That's the energy that I want to use to propel not only our business of podcasting, but also our relationship in our life.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm moving from a place, or if I'm not acknowledging the darker side, which is the part of like, nah, nigga, you want to be able to flourish so you can smile and know, yeah, fool, it wasn't me. It was you. It was them.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying there's a part of you that needs your I told you so moment?
I'm saying now, this is it. The fact that I can come out publicly and be vulnerable and say it. Because I think a lot of people, they not real when they talk about this type of shit.
Yeah.
Why they create businesses. Why they get in relationships with people.
Right.
Why they're seeking God. Because some people will say, yeah, I seek God because, because I look to have a real true relationship with the source. But really, that's not what it is for you. What it really is you want to be able to get things that you want. And you think this is the way to go about it. Is to build a relationship so that way you are able to gain favor. And you won't even use that favor properly if it's given to you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's a lot of backwards thinking going on, including myself. That's why I'm coming clean right now, because can you fight? Hell yeah, I can fight. But when you fight for the wrong reasons, see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like Mike Tyson in the ring is different that motherfucker was fighting demons in his life. And the demons were strong, which made his fighting style have to be strong too. Because remember, reality is just a reflection of your inner world.
Yeah.
Because remember what he said something on his podcast too, where he was like, yo, when I let all that go, it was like, that's what people knew me for, that identity. But it was like, yo, once the shit started to clear away, I ain't need to be that no more. But that's all I knew.
Right.
And so I look at, like, you know, just the previous relationships and things, and I say to myself, like, dang, you was fooling yourself, because I was fighting, but I was fighting split. Remember that thing we talked about was like, yo, if on certain teams, if the coach would have just told you your role instead of you thinking your role was this is your role. And so now you think you got a big ass ego because you're not fitting in the role, but no one told you what your role was anyway. That was me. That. So my thing was, I was always the go-to guy.
Yeah.
And it started in high school when I was not the go-to guy. I wasn't used to being a role player. Then in college, same thing. Now it was like, I'm used to being the guy, but the thing that we were creating didn't cause for me to be the guy, but I didn't know how to not be the guy.
Yeah.
And then other people knew my light was the guy, but they wanted to put me behind them. And now here we are, where it's like, it ain't me being the guy, it's us being the relationship. But my reasoning, my movement is from a rocky place that it don't need to be.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to tap in with the people, I need to tap in with the people.
Yeah.
What my man say? I ain't gonna die no car wreck. I ain't gonna die slipping on no ice. I'm gonna die doing I was born for.
Right. You can't fake it.
Can't fake it. You can't fake it.
Not on this podcast. We not faking it.
Nah.
You not gonna fake it.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you listening out there, our avid audience, you know what I mean? Them people that like to talk that shift. Ask yourself, because I already know you can fight. Everybody got a little fight in them. But are you directing that energy from the right place and to the right place?
Right. Ask yourself, what are you really fighting for? Because if you're really fighting for that unworthy cause, what are you really doing with your energy? And do you want that same energy coming back to you? Because people don't think about that.
Right.
They don't think about what comes back to them. Whatever they put out comes back to them. I've had to say that to myself more than a few times. You know, I'm not sitting here like I got all the answers, or I'm this like completely healed, changed person. I have had to experience some stuff to be able to now say, oh man, it finally clicks after all this time. You know, what was I even fighting for? Because
it ain't no namaste. It's namaste right here till I get what's mine.
Right.
And that's the difference, right? That's the full blown difference in what I be talking about. because you gotta have grit. You gotta have fight when you've been given something and it's in your head and everything around you is in opposition to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then if you're not making the decisions, the wise decisions that align with the thing that's in your head, it's only you to blame. You can't really blame nobody else.
Right.
And so here we are right now, and it's like I'm really seeing how that plays out, how it's played out,
Right.
and how I no longer want it to play out. Like you can just see the scene clear as day. Like I can see it, and I'm like, damn, nigga, like, nah, Sam, bro. Yeah, there's some people you wanted to come around and shoulder a little bit. You know, unbutton a couple buttons on your collar and say like, yeah, fool, like I told you.
Right.
And again, like I said, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think the problem is me not stepping and using it, but using it in the way that's necessary to create solutions.
Yeah.
Because it just causes drama of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of the times that's what we do when we say, when we think we're fighting for a noble cause, we're really fighting to keep the drama of the heart going,
Right.
and drama of the mind going.
And I'm sitting here thinking, before we go a little bit further, people who may be listening might be listening and thinking, when we say fight, that we're constantly and consistently talking about like fighting, like throwing the hands. But we want to make it really clear that this is about your drive.
Right. Your will.
This is about your will, your determination.
Yeah. It's all
your
internal.
Diligence.
It's all internal stuff.
Yeah. This is what is in you.
Fortitude. That type shit. Yeah.
We're talking about that. We're not talking specifically and literally about going out here and throwing these hands. Now, is that a part of, like, you might have to, you might have to put them dukes up and, but in addition to that, and the overarching thing we want to drive home in this conversation tonight, today, to whatever time you're listening to this, is your drive. Like, what are you being out here being determined for? What are you out here being diligent about? Because if you're out here putting all your drive and all your determination into procrastination, you're going to get that procrastination energy back, right back to you. If you're out here talking about manifesting, and you just sitting on your behind, waiting for said manifested thing to come to fruition, then that is the energy you're going to get back. What are you out here doing in order to have the thing that you want to happen? Because whatever it is that you're doing, whatever that fight is going towards, that energy you're putting out, you're going to get it right back. I promise you. Ask me, ask Samuel, how we know.
Telling you. There's a version of us that seems like it is in the distant future, but we can see it clear as day. It's got the body that we want. There's a certain amount of money that we have. There's these things that we got. There's a place where we are. There's people that's around us. We see it all, but we see it as if it's like years down the line. But we so desperately want it.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we won't fight for it. We won't fight for that version of ourselves today, right now. We won't become it today because we feel like we're separate from it. And then you got people who you admire who did exactly what you won't do, which is they saw themselves as this thing and they fought for it. They didn't fight the people physically, maybe some of them,
Mm-hmm.
but every day they fought to bring that image to the present. And then so they could not be that thing for a moment, but they could be it for a lifetime.
Right.
They fought through the chatter. They fought through the self-doubt, right? They fought through the negativity of others. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Family members, friends,
all the naysayers.
And they did their damn thing. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they put in the work, night in and night out. No matter the circumstances, they stayed consistent. And they got what's rightfully theirs.
Right. Right.
They weren't afraid to be seen at a small level.
They weren't afraid to be seen failing.
Right. Because they were still moving towards the thing.
Right.
Man. And who knows? I don't even want to say that. I do know. You know how, like, for lack of better words, pure, you got to keep your spirit when you dealing with that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
When you know, like, you may not necessarily know how karma works. You just know that it's real. And so instead of doing the get back thing, you continue to just move as righteous as you can. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us, we can get lost in that and not want to do that. Because I'm not saying that that's the best option. You know, there's the saying eye for an eye for a reason. You know, and some people that energy work for them, but I don't think it's sustainable. Like, I don't think that can last.
Yeah.
So one of the things that bro always tell me, shout out to bro, you know who you are, is that the energy that you're moving from, you need to make sure that it's sustainable.
Yeah.
It's all obtainable. You can, because it's a charge, but can you use it and have endurance with it? So when you're moving from a place of like revenge isn't long lasting most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at like Michael Jordan, and we watch them the documentaries, right? Like with Shaq and Penny Hardaway talking about him. And it was like, yo, like he could be having the worst game, and then somebody say something to him, and he like, what? And he'd go off.
Yeah.
But he couldn't go off of that the following game. It was just that in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how like that negative thing, he used it, but it was short-lived.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, when you're fighting, you got to find the thing that's going to keep you fueled.
Yes. Yes.
You got to find it. And you got to make sure that it's sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got to be, you know, eco-friendly. Let it be motherfucking fire. Let it be a fire. It ain't got to be no damn Tesla. It could be diesel fuel, bruh. It's cool.
True.
But you got to find it.
Yeah.
I'm finding it.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. that's the reason why the inconsistency was happening. Because it's like, yo, why do I fight to stay sober? Right? It ain't for it. Now it's not for nobody, no one person. It's more like, yo, I love the way that I feel. And I'd rather fight for that every day.
Right.
Than, because I know what it was like when I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know what it was. I know the feeling of waking up hungover, craving, and basically contorting your whole day and scheduling your whole day around when you can get a drink. When I can get a drink. Making sure that I got enough on me wherever I go, just in case they ain't got shit, because I know I'm gonna need it or want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other life
that I don't
that
know anything about.
Yeah, that I stepped out of. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, bruh. And yeah, Queen, I know you can fight. I know you can fight. I see it. But why? What you fighting for? Where's your grit?
Right.
Are you fighting for the things that you really want? Or are you just fighting the people around you? Thinking and tricking yourself into thinking that you're fighting for what you want to create or who you want to be.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? We just got deep on y'all. We need the snaps like in Love Jones.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Again, we don't ever want these to seem like, they're somber. No, it's this is one of those things where it's like, you know what? Somebody needs to hear this. And I don't know that it's out here being talked about, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the same way we know we needed it, I can guarantee somebody out here listening to it is going to be listening to it and nodding their heads like, wow, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask myself these questions. Let me sit with this for a minute. Let me make sure, this is a gut check for me.
Right.
And I am okay with giving these gut checks.
Man.
Because I have taken enough of them at this point that leaving 2024 behind in about 15 days, going into 2025, it is strictly about fighting for what we want and what works for us,
right,
and our family.
Yeah.
And leaving behind the questionable doubt that we've had around what people say, because people are not paying these bills. People are not living in our four walls. And the sooner you, our great listeners, can understand and embrace that, man, we all gonna be out here flying. And I really believe that when you take that turn to fight for what matters to you, man, it just makes things so much easier. It makes your journey so much easier. I don't know. We be forcing a whole lot, man. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of forcing.
You talking about us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel that.
Forcing to look, be, feel, act a certain way to certain people, family members, friends, those of us, those people out there who, may have been colleagues at one time. Like, for what? Like, please them for what? That's just where I am. I don't know.
No, you know where you at. And it's okay to be there. I'd rather see you there than, prior.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So here's my thing. I'm a Scorpio through and through. And Scorpios Scorpions got a thing called a stinger on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that stinger is held up very high and it's controlled with the tail, and it's swift and it can hit quick. And the stinger is the revenge. It's the success of the revenge plot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, because it is in my nature to be vengeful, I'm allowed to have to move from that place. But that's a de-evolved element, or that's just a version of me.
Right.
And that's the version that I'm looking to supersede and ascend from into the next level, which I've done. But there's remnants of that lower version still that I'm letting go of right here on the pod, for sure.
Exclusive content.
And I'm doing it so anybody else out there who's dealing with these things can transcend it as well. Because that's what we need. We need more transcendence. We need more truth so we can honestly take a look at ourselves in the mirror and whoever we're conversing with and say, yo, I care. I not only care about myself, I care about you. I care about you, and I care about you accomplishing the things necessary to sustain your life and your family and to make good in the world. And the only way we can make good in the world is if we make good on ourselves and each other. Period. You know what I'm saying? And so we really got to uncover where the blocks are so we can really make sure that we're moving in the right way. That's for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's way ain't the same.
Right.
And that's what this is about. So I know you can fight. I know you can fight. It's fine tuning it to make sure that the fight is going to the right place and coming from the right reasons. Yeah.
Man, that's some encouragement for your behind.
That's what it is. Can I Talk My Shift podcast, season 3, episode 4. You can catch all our other episodes on our website, www.canitalkmyshift.com. We're streaming on all podcast platforms. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you rate the show and give us 5 stars. Just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, we rock like that.
Because you rock with us.
You know what I'm saying? And do your part by giving us the rating so that way others can find the show easy or easier. And that way we are making sure that we're building our community of avid listeners and we can continue to bring the content and the talks necessary for your growth and development and to crack that heart chakra open too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Share this out too with your people. Share it with somebody who, is fighting out here for the unworthy cause in their life. If they need a shift, share this with them. And if you're listening to it, feel free. We invite you to tag us on social media. Screenshot the cover of this podcast and tag Can I Talk My Shift on IG. You could tag the LG, that is TheEllegee_, or you could tag Sam Walker Inspo.
INSP, don't forget the O. You heard? Straight like that. And yeah, we are so happy to have you here at the end of the show. Like I said, man, it was a quick one. And yo, I hope that we left an immense amount of positive energy in this place, since this is where the podcast was created.
Yeah.
You know? And this is not where it will end.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So, yo, catch us on episode 5. We don't got no title yet, but it's all good, you know? And we hope that you got a lot out of this one and the many more to come.
We'll see you on the next pod.
Big, big love.